Hello, everyone. We are the Vinyl Community Guncles. We are here to review an album that Mike from Hubtunes suggested. And that album is from Eels from 2001, and it's Souljacker or something like that. Souljacker.
Not
Souljacker.
Not Souljacker.
You would have liked it better if it was.
Oh, Pole was, yeah. I remember his name was Paul. Paul the Pole. Michigan, the Dunes. Anyway, what were we talking about? Oh, we're the Vinyl Community Guncles. I'm Robert Pittman, along with Richard from Calvin Wazoo, Mike from Hubtunes, and ladies and gentlemen, the man holding a dog.
No, that's me.
Is Craig from Craig's Vinyl Plethora.
Okay, she's kidding.
He does not want to be held.
Well, I guess I start this off, eh?
You start it off. Get it.
Sure.
So when it took me a couple listens with this album at first because and then the more after about the third listen, that's when I started to, I don't know, like it. When I first was listening to it, it was just kind of, I don't know, just kind of, man, maybe it's his voice, I don't know. But after, the repeated listens, I really started to not only get into the music more, but into the stories. And I think part of the reason his stories are about sad, pathetic people in a lot of the songs. And, that's not always a very easy listen, especially song after song after song. But the more I listened to it, and then after I found out something about Mark Oliver Everett, who is Eels, it just started coming together. But it opens up really strong. I really like the opening track, Dogface Boy.
Yeah.
Because it's just got this really heavy bass to it that I love it. It's very much a garage opener, or a garage rocker. I mean, the next couple of songs were weaker, considerably weaker. That's not really funny. Although I really like the screaming guitar riff between the verses. I mean, I just really like that. The weakest song,
Excuse me,
Fresh Feeling, that was like a dud to me, that song. But then it comes right back with Woman Driving, Man Sleeping. I mean, I kept thinking in my mind, it's just like such a Twilight Zone kind of story going on to me with the lyrics. I keep thinking, where are they going? What's the meaning of all this? Why is the man dreaming that dream that he's singing about? It's just like, it creates a lot of. It's a song that makes you think. To me, and it was really quite good. Souljacker Part 1. The video is kind of weird. I saw the video that went with it. But that's the one where it's a great song. And that's where he's singing about these sad, pathetic people that are just existing. And wow, it's like two people abandoned the screen.
Sorry.
Yeah.
That was my cat's tail in the door.
Friendly Ghost is good, and that's when I realized that he was singing about his sister who committed suicide, and he was like communicating with her. Teenage Witch is okay. Bus Stop Boxer is good. Really angry song though. It's really filled with a lot of rage. It's just about this kid who just goes looking for fights. The rest of the album is really strong with Jungle Telegraph. It's got a really good boogie rhythm, and I like that. World of Shit. Now, this is the song, World of Shit, because he is ranting about his father. And then I was reading something about the song, and then it mentioned who his father is. His father is, or was, Hugh Everett III. Famous quantum physicist. He is the physicist that came up with the many worlds interpretation of quantum mechanics. The idea that there are these parallel worlds that are existing simultaneously, but everything that we do is different in those worlds. So there are different outcomes. And I mean, it was a groundbreaking theory in quantum mechanics. And then that when I realized that, that's when a lot of the other songs started to make a little more sense to me, because he grew up with, he's obviously a super talented musician and songwriter. And then he grew up with this father who was this intellectual giant and probably not a very affectionate father, probably a very distant father. I think I read someplace with the World of Shit, that song, that he doesn't regret writing it, but he has a different perspective now of his father than at the time, when he wrote that song.
He's now the age that his father died at.
Yeah. So yeah, and it is really interesting when you reach the age of that time, of your parents, when you felt the greatest tension, and it's a lot of things happen with yourself in terms of your own outlook. The Souljacker song Part 2, he's talking about the serial killer Bernard Temple. And so Souljacker Part 1 and Souljacker Part 2, even though it says Part 1 and Part 2, they're not really that related to each other. But and then the closing song, What Is This Note, is such a romping rocker. It's a good closer, to the whole album. After some repeated listens, I was able to, in my listening, meld his singing with the content of the lyrics and bring it together with the music. And I think this is, to me, a very solid album. And I'm going to give it 4 rainbows.
All right. Let's hear what Craig has to say about it.
What do I have to say? I've been trying to find my notes. That's what I was flipping all the pages around. I was like, where are they? Let's see. What do I have to say about the Eels Souljacker? Not Polejacker.
But I mean, if it was,
well, that's fine. But so let's see. So I listened to it in the car. It's hard to write notes when you're in the car. So then I had to come home and listen.
Yeah, it's probably not very healthy for other people on the road.
That's true. The Dog Faced Boy, I liked the guitar. I didn't really like the song that much. I didn't really care for the next one. That's not really funny. My Little Bunny. I did like that part though. It did kind of make me think of like a spy theme or something like that. Like I was like imagining like Get Smart, and I got my telephone in my shoe type of thing. Like the music really made me think of like a spy type thing. The Fresh Feeling, I really, really liked that song. With its Cabbage Patch beats.
he's not listening.
No, he's not listening.
I'm reading at what you're saying at the time you're saying it.
Okay. I didn't like the women driving, man sleeping song. They didn't like it. Souljacker Part 1, I really liked that one. It was a rockin' good time is what I wrote down.
It's about a serial killer.
I know, but it was
that's
still a
part two.
rockin'
That's
good time.
Part
two.
2 is
Yeah.
about the serial killer.
Yeah, part 2. Part 2, I didn't really write. I said it was short and sweet. Not that it was a sweet song, but it was a short song. So therefore short and sweet. Bus stop boxer. Don't look at him. He's the bus stop boxer. Watch out. I liked the beat and the guitar. The Jungle Telegraph song, it was funky. The horns got a little annoying sometimes. His mom wanted him to be a girl. I do want to send it by Giraffe on a Jungle Telegraph, though. I mean, if you can send something by Giraffe, like, that's fun. Like, the giraffe gonna bring you a telegraph, like that visual, and it was very exciting. Yeah, I mean, I've only heard one Eels album before, the Daisy one. The Daisies with Goddamn Right, It's a Beautiful Day on it. The best fucking song ever. So it was good to hear something other than that album. I know he's got a million, but it's
17.
got 17. Okay.
17 albums under the Eels moniker. He also does music on
Right.
Wow. So yeah, no, I enjoyed it. I think it wasn't, I don't want to say my normal. I didn't hate it. It wasn't terrible. So 3.5 rainbows.
I enjoyed it, I think.
You know.
I really enjoyed the Eels when they were first out. Albums like Beautiful Freak used to play songs off the radio, and it was definitely better than the other stuff that I was playing at the time. And their first one, and then the one with It's a Beautiful Day, and then here's a radio promo single for Novocaine for the Soul. But yeah, so I didn't even know they were still around until we started making these videos. And Micah would always show like Eels albums, and I'm like, wow, and then you find out, like you said, they have 17 albums. So I was so ready to hear a full album from the band I liked a lot in the late 90s. And so I put here that I am disappointed by this uninspired, lazy album with dated, insipid drum loops. So that's my overall opinion. What's that?
Cabbage patching.
Cabbage patching, yes. Fresh Feeling, especially. Title sounds like it's some sort of maxi pad commercial or something, but
yeah, that
was
was
a lot of that
song for sure.
I did not like that at all. And there's the like Teenage Witch. Who? Sabrina? Friendly Ghost. Who? Casper? Is this guy writing songs while he's like watching TV in the early 2000s, and it's on that like TNT or something showing all the 90s movies?
My note says, not sure what the point is.
I think the point's just to have some songs. Woman driving, man sleeping. More like man listening, band sleeping. Am I right? Ha!
Well, he is the band.
What's
I
that?
like that song.
He is the band. I mean,
well, the man listening would be me, and then he would be the musicians would be sleeping. Souljacker Part 1. Johnny doesn't like the teacher. Johnny doesn't like the school. Sounds like Z-grade grunge. Sounds like something that would be off the Airheads soundtrack. It's just the most insipid lyrics. I mean, Johnny going around, Johnny can't run. I mean, it's just. This is the Eels. And it's like Jungle Telegraph is about as good as it gets. And I think that's like you were saying, that's the funky one. That's the upbeat one with the horn. Yeah, that's about as good as it gets. Most of the album sounds like bad Beck throwaways from 1996 with overmodulated vocals. A lot of this does sound like Beck was sounding like 5 or 6 years previous, but not on that quality level, just that sound level. Yeah, I did not care for this album at all. And I put that this is a blemish on Mike's record, who usually has the best albums. This is now a blemish. One problem I have with Mike is that he's always showing or talking about albums that I then want, and it causes my wish list to continue to grow and grow, and a wish list should get smaller and smaller. I do not have that issue with this album, and that's my positive spin on it.
Thank you, Mike, for taking that plaudit away from me.
Yeah. Now Robert can buy Terry more Christmas presents because he doesn't have to buy this record for him.
Right.
So, oh well, that's quite the review.
What's your rating though?
2 rainbows.
2 rainbows.
2. Okay, well at least got 2.
Okay. Well.
Yeah, that's not the lowest rating you've given, is it?
Well, it was just very disappointing because it was the Eels, and I was thinking it was going to be.
Then I'm looking forward then to listening to.
And now
more
he'll never listen to another Eels record ever again.
It'll be a while.
20 years, like the Donnas. So I love this album. I think it's fun. I think well, first of all, Eels. He got his big break when he wrote that song for Shrek. Well, I don't even remember the name of it. Remember that song? It's in Shrek 1. And he makes. I mean, he's cashing checks every damn day from that song. I mean, and I think he won an Oscar. He was definitely nominated for an Oscar for that song, if he didn't win. So that's really what kind of propelled him into being able to just make any kind of music he wants. He's making so much money off of that one damn song. He just can make whatever he wants. 17 albums, still making albums today, still really good. I think he's a terrific songwriter. Richard went into a little bit of his family history is difficult. He had a difficult upbringing. He did not have a good relationship with his father. His father died at 54 years old. His sister committed suicide. He wrote an entire double album about his sister's suicide and their relation. He loved his sister dearly. And he wrote an entire, actually, I think it's a triple album. The whole thing it's heartbreaking. It's absolutely heartbreaking. But yet he simplifies the heartbreak. And he has a way of simplifying things. I mean, there's a song about a serial killer on here. Yeah, the songs do come across as simple sometimes. But if you really listen to them, and you kind of have to do a little research and know what the topic is. And it's always something different with every album. There's always something. There's a whole album about his death of his father. His most recent album is called Time, because his father died at 54 years old. And guess what? His father had a heart attack. Guess what happened to him at 54 years old? He had a massive heart attack. And the first thing he did, right in his hospital bed when he woke up, started writing songs. And I just think he's a wonderful, wonderful songwriter. I'm not going to go through every song. Dog-Faced Boy. Life ain't pretty for a dog-faced boy. It isn't. Fresh Feeling is absolutely a horrendous song. I cannot stand that song. I skip it every time I play this record. But Friendly Ghost, all about his sister coming to him and talking, and just talking to her. Yeah, it's just great. Teenage Witch, I dig. I love that funky bluesy beat to it. Jungle Telegraph, probably my favorite song on the record. I think it's great. World of Shit is awesome. But yeah, I don't know. I think Richard did a really good job of just going through every song, and I've always dug this album. It's always been one of my favorites in his catalog. It's a vast catalog. There's better albums. I thought this would probably be like, I don't know. I wasn't gonna do the one about the 3 record set about his sister's suicide. I didn't think you guys would sit through that. Although Robert might have liked it better. I don't know.
My Beloved Monster is the Shrek song.
I was just
Beloved Monster. Yes.
He did songs for Shrek 2, though, and Shrek the Third as well, and Shrek the Halls.
Yeah. Shrek the Halls. What the hell's that?
Yeah, they did a Christmas special.
Sounds like a Halloween movie, of course.
Beautiful Monster was the big one that he got Oscar nom for. And stuff, so.
Maybe an Easter movie.
Yeah. So I love this. I'll give it. I love it. 4.5 rainbows.
He did songs for Hellboy He did songs for Henry Poole is here. He
Yeah,
did
he's
a
based
lot
out
of songs for film.
Rainbows.
He's based out of L.A.
Scream 2.
How many rainbows?
14.
He said 4.5.
Yeah. 8,
Well,
9, 10, 11, 12.
We should have done up to 10 rainbows.
Yeah,
By the way, it's not
14.
every album we do. It gets
That's
the same.
14. 3.5. 4 plus 4, that's 8. And then we have a half, that's 9. Then I have 3. And you have 2.
Math.
all right. What album are we listening to next? Richard knows.
Yes. A Dutch band called De Staat.
Oh,
And
that's
the
cool.
album is Bubblegum
That is awesome artwork.
from 2019.
The Stadt probably, well, I don't know about Dutch. If it's German, it means the city. Oh, it
That's great.
moves.
That is awesome. Yeah,
Yeah, it's lenticular.
very cool.
All right. So we'll be doing that. And maybe we'll play our music game again and redeem ourselves. Or maybe we'll play our music game again and get ashamed of ourselves again. We'll just have to wait and
we
see.
might.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us for
You
this
never know.
review, though. Now you have no idea what to think about that Eels album since we're all so polarized, or at least one of us is.
Mhm.
You'll just have to listen for yourself.
Yeah, give it a listen.
Do it.
All their albums are terrific.
All right. We are the Vinyl Community Guncles. My name is Robert Fitton, along with
Richard at Calvin Wazoo.
Craig's Vinyl Plethora.
Wow, you said it right.
I did.
Mike at Hubtunes.
Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you.
Thanking you.